Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of 19 to the Dozen. My name is Kane Lillywhite, and I'm your host for today and forever after. It's a show where we sit down and chat with some of the most interesting people I know and have some goofs and gaffs along the way. My first guest today is my very good friend and violinist extraordinaire, Clavell Santiago. I've known Clavell for years. In this episode, we talk about a whole bunch of things. We talk about his life during lockdown, his music influences, and even dating during COVID-19. So, if this is something you're interested in, please check out the show and leave a like and subscribe to the channel as well, and as that's always helpful. Without further ado, here we go.
Three, two, one, and we are live. Clavell Santiago, thank you so much for being on. How's it going, bro?
Thank you very much, buddy. It feels good to see you. All good this end, you tell me.
All good, bro. All good. You're the first guest I'm having on, and honestly, dude, I'm just trying to connect with some of the people who have not been in touch with lately, like you included as well.
Thanks for not being in touch, because it's good to be in touch via this medium at least. We can do this every day.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I'm trying to do this. Right? I'm trying to get in touch with people, some of the people who have not been in touch with more recently as such. So. Yeah, thanks for being on. I really appreciate it, of course.
Thank you very much.
So to begin, I know a lot of my friends know you, all right? But for the people here in Canada where I'm at, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm this kind of awesome character that people call Kelu. And
sure.
but yeah, so I'm a musician. I like to call myself a musician because I play the violin. I've been playing the violin for about 20 years. And professionally, I work in an FMCG company. It's called an RM Group. So we actually represent brands such as, Fever Tree, Illy, Lin Chocolates within India. So, and I look after their business for Western India. And I was the hotelier. That's where we first met, if you remember.
Yeah, we met in Xavier's, man. We met like way back in 2006.
Yeah,
in
2006.
Science and I was in arts. And then we ended up in IHM together. So
yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We didn't meet in Xavier's. Everyone saw you in Xavier's. Okay,
but we met. I've spoken to you in Xavier's. We used to hang out at what's the name of the place? Jumcars.
Yeah, we would go there for some tea.
Yes, for some tea indeed.
For some tea, right? And yeah, man. So after I worked in hotel for about, you can say, 6 years. I started off in Bombay for 2 years, and I got transferred to Oman. I was in the Middle East for about 2 years.
Okay.
I came back, worked again in the hotel, and then I realized I was done. That wasn't meant for me.
Okay.
Right? And so
you went and pursued you pursued an MBA after hotels, right?
Yeah, so I did my MBA.
What made you do that?
So as I said, right, so after hotel management, I worked for about 5 years in hotels, and I realized that it's hard. Physically, it's very hard. And it wasn't paying that much. And luckily for me, I wasn't into operations, right? Like someone like you were in operations, but I wasn't. Yeah. I was in sales and marketing. And I felt that since I'm in sales and marketing, maybe I could, try out something else. And nobody was hiring me because I was just a hotel management student. They were like, you know what, if you need to be hired, you need to do an MBA. And that's when the entire journey began. So luckily for me, my mom works in Unilever. So I got to speak to a lot of people from Unilever. I got motivated to be part of, the MBA kind of scene. And I tried my level best to get into the so-called IIMs and ISBs, but that's not meant for me.
I heard it's really hard, right? You need to be have 97 or 98% or something to
No, Kane, you got it wrong. You need to have a 99.97, right?
Are you serious, dude? That's insane, man.
It's madness. It's crazy, right? And so I was a bit demotivated, but I realized that at that point of time, I just needed to do an MBA. And so luckily for me, nonetheless, I got into a good B school in India. It's called Great Lakes Institute of Management.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, which is one of the best in India for their PGPM course. It's a 1-year program that they do, completely transformational course, residential program. So postgraduate program in management.
Okay.
So usually you have a PGDM, which is a 2-year course, or a PGPM, which is for people who have experience.
Yeah.
And since I had about 5 years work experience, I didn't want to do a 2-year MBA. I was looking at doing a 1-year MBA, right? And yeah, I got through that program, and that's when my journey into FMCG began, right? So I got placed via campus recruitment in a company called Cafe Coffee Day, that everyone knows.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so I was there for a year, and yeah, and then I just moved on to the Naran group where I'm currently.
Awesome. And I want to circle back to the violin. Like you mentioned that you've been doing the violin for like 20 years. You've been playing the
Yeah,
violin. I mean, I've known you to
yeah,
play the violin ever since I first saw you. I mean, we played together
yeah,
in the band as
yeah.
well, dude. I mean, you were the
We
best of
played
us.
together.
You were the best of
Oh
us, and
no.
I was arguably the worst. But but I mean,
Some
like
great memories, man.
great. We had some great memories, dude. And like
Yeah,
honestly, like, a lot of
absolutely.
the stuff, a lot of the times that we did win competitions and stuff, it was primarily
Yeah,
because you were like shredding the solos on the violin. Like
yeah, yeah.
how did you get to that point? Like what made you first want to pick up the violin in the first place?
So when you're like 8 or 9 years old,
Yeah.
you don't have an option, right? So you have people called parents in your life who take decisions on your behalf, right? So music runs in my family really deep. So my mom and dad, the moment I turned 5, they were like, you know what? I think my son can play the recorder. So they sent me for recorder, tuitions. Recorder is basically a wind instrument that you
Yeah,
play,
yeah, yeah.
and I kind of hated it, right? Because I didn't have that I didn't have that lung power to actually
You can
blow
you
into
can
that
swear,
horn.
dude. You can swear. I have no issues with you swearing on this
So,
podcast.
okay, fine. So then what happened after that was, so in my neighboring building, where I stay, so there's a lady called Ginny Dinshaw, who's one of the best violinists in India. In fact, she's
Hmm.
the founder of the Bombay Chamber Orchestra. And
Oh,
my
really?
mom
She's the
happened to,
founder.
she's the founder of the Bombay
Dude, I
Chamber
didn't know
Orchestra.
that. I know that she taught you, but I didn't know she was a
She is
founder.
the founder of the Bombay Chamber Orchestra, and this year she turns 90, right? So she's a legend.
Nice.
Legend. She's my mentor, my life mentor, you can say. So my mom and my dad would go to the bank, which was in the same building as her, where she stays. She stays on the terrace, like she has like a duplex kind of a house, and she bumped into her over there, and she's like, "Oh, I teach the violin," and small talk, and that's when my mom said, "Clever, why didn't you try learning the violin?" I'll tell you, man, the violin was the most difficult instrument to
It
play.
is. It is.
It is.
I tried to play the violin once as a kid as well. Dude, it was hard. Like
Yeah, it was hard. It took
like
me
I
2 years
mean,
to learn Twinkle Twinkle.
yeah, like I mean, I remember trying to play Happy Birthday, and the timing is for Happy Birthday is completely fucked up, right? So like that was one of the first songs I learned how to play, and it was horrible, dude. Like I mean, I heard if you can play the violin, you can literally play any other stringed instrument.
See, that's true. So I can actually play the guitar. I can play, so like the violin, you have something called the viola. So in fact, after about 10 years of playing the violin, I moved on to the viola. Then I played the viola in the Bombay Chamber Orchestra, and yeah, so it just started off from that. But the first couple of years were the hardest, right? And
Yeah.
for me, my mom and dad were very strict when I was young. They were like, you got to practice for 1 hour a day, and your friends are playing football, they're playing cricket, and I'm playing the violin at home, and
Yeah.
so I was a bit disappointed. Uh, but I think when I actually started loving the violin was in the 8th standard, because at that point of time, you have inter-school competitions. Right? We would come to your school, and you would come
Yeah.
to our school, and
Yeah.
all of that
Yeah.
drama would happen, right?
Yeah.
And so that's when I started winning competitions. And in fact, I did come first in India in my third grade exam,
Oh,
Trinity
really?
College exam. Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know that,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah. It was in the year 2000 and 2005. 2005. I got a 94. So there was
Nice.
a lot of happiness behind
Yeah,
that.
2005, you must have been in the 10th grade or 8th grade or somewhere there,
Yeah, I
right?
was in the eighth grade, yeah,
8th. Yeah,
2004,
yeah.
2005, 8th, 9th grade, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So once that happened, I knew that this is me, man. And people knew me as the violin guy. People, they would call me the so-called Maestro and all of that,
Yeah.
and that stuck around.
And you've played with the Bombay Chamber Orchestra as well as first violin.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
In
that
fact,
in
I
itself is
was
accomplishment.
absolutely. So I was one of the youngest to, if not the youngest, in terms of when I was playing at that point of time, to join the Bombay Chamber Orchestra. I joined them when I was 14 years old. So, you had some established violinists, Billy Moria, you had Zubinetta, you had, Dinny, obviously, you had, Alric, and all these big, musicians in the scene. And I was like the small kid that people could barely see, right? Like on stage. And I would just sit there and play, and it was crazy. That's another part of my life which I miss completely.
Yeah. I've come for a few of your shows as well, and I've really enjoyed it every time I've been there.
Yeah.
Like I still have recordings on my phone of you playing the violin over there. I mean,
I remember. You've come for many of them.
I've come for quite a few of them. Yeah, we've had some good scenes. I remember that one time where we had come for the show, and you weren't there. Do you remember that?
I don't want to remember that. Yeah, since you mentioned, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, guys, for listening to this, right? So this was my first BCO concert when I entered IHI Mumbai, which was the college Canaan we both of us went to, right? We both went to the same college. And I was really happy, I was proud. You know how it was, right? Because he knew me. And I invited everyone. I invited the faculty, I invited all you all guys, and you all bought tickets and came. And the tradition was that my friend Ramesh would pick me up from my house on Sunday at 3 o'clock, because we would do a dress rehearsal, and then we would go for a ride and then go to the NCPA, the venue. That day, it was a Sunday, 3 o'clock, there was no car on the road, just our bike. So nowhere one Innova shows up.
You on a bike?
Yeah, we on a bike, right? I was carrying my suit and my violin, because you're in college, man. You want to
of course.
do stupid stuff. And yeah, that was a very bad accident, yeah. And then I was in hospital for a month post that, and you all guys went for the concert.
Yeah, I remember, and we thought that you were fucking around with us. We thought you were like,
you all went for it.
And you weren't answering the phone as well, so we had no idea.
Yeah, I was practically unconscious for a couple of days, man. I don't remember your calls, and you all guys didn't even bother. That was crazy.
I'm sorry. We were young and stupid. I can't help it. But
yeah, that was a mad one.
So the car, it was an Innova. So the Innova is a van, right? I believe it's like
a van. It's one of the, you can say, the premium cars of Toyota.
Yeah.
Back then it was.
So it turned into y'all. Like, how did the accident happen?
So basically, it was to our right, and we were on the bike in the middle of the road, and the road was empty, right? So this guy tried overtaking us. He was about 70, 80 kilometers an hour, and he while turning right, while overtaking us, our front wheel hit his back wheel, and we just skid. Right? We skid, I don't know, 20, 30 meters or so. And then I got up in the hospital. I don't remember how I reached there.
What about Ramesh? What happened to him? Like, was he okay?
Ramesh had a few broken bones. Luckily for him, Ramesh had a helmet, right? So he didn't have any head injury.
Yeah.
I didn't have a helmet, so I basically had 8 stitches over here. I had like about a couple of stitches on my
right. Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty messed up, dude.
My hand, I had a couple of stitches right over here. Now,
it's all done. Okay, that's good. So, what about the scene? What about the scene right now in India? What's the music scene like in India right now? I mean, I know you guys are under lockdown and stuff, but like generally, what's the scene like in India?
So to be honest with you, I've been out of the scene as a musician in India. I've stopped playing the violin in bands for about a couple of years now because of work, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would say currently the DJ vibe, the DJ scene is rampant, right? You have a lot of DJs out there who have come into the scene, and the live music scene in India has kind of died. Oh, it's dying. You do have, a few festivals around the country, but then again, the festivals that have, DJs associated with them, they're like these famous ones, but the live music scene is kind of dead. But it has seen a rise of singer-songwriters. So you have a lot of super cool singer-songwriters, right? And I think that's the way forward, because these guys, they play like a guitar, or they'll have like a small setup of 2-3 people, maybe a drum, or keys, and maybe a lead guitar, and they sing, and it's not too bad. So the venues are not open to live music; they're more so affiliated with DJs. Remember Blue Frog? So Blue Frog was one of the best
shut down,
venues.
Right?
It shut down, so now there's a place called Toit opened over there.
Yeah.
But I think that was the best venue I performed. I think you came for one of my shows.
Yeah, dude, I've been to a number of shows at Blue Frog. That was an awesome place. That was like
crazy. The sound, the acoustic.
Yeah. And the ambience as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it had that vibe. I think the place was really expensive as well. Like there was a time I'd
That was
gone
very
there.
expensive.
Yeah, like one of my first dates I'd gone with Nikki was at the Blue Frog, and she had ordered, I think it was a margarita or a cosmopolitan or something, and it was 800 rupees, dude.
Did the date end
800
after that
rupees.
margarita? Please tell me it did, man.
Was that?
You can't. Did the date end after that margarita?
Dude,
Because I'm still
she
couldn't
looked at
afford
me.
both.
She looked at me like, like, are you are you gonna pay for this? And I was just like, because okay, so for Canadian viewers, 800 rupees is roughly around like a little less than maybe $20, like maybe $16 or so. And
Yeah.
like $16, this is like 2011 maybe. Was
Yeah,
expensive.
2011.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like we get drinks.
Right.
Like you can get like a cosmopolitan over here in Vancouver today at like maybe $8 or $10, like at a decent place. Like $16 back in the day was fucking expensive, dude. Like, and I was living on a shitty salary anyways. I couldn't afford it, dude. Like my beer, like I had one beer. It was like a Kingfisher, not even like really like.
I think 250 for Kingfisher. Yeah, that
Yeah,
time it was
250 or
250.
250 or 300, one of the two. Like I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like, holy shit, this place is expensive. But I mean, that was the
But you
first
know
time I'd
what?
actually gone and bought something.
But over there, as an artist, you would get, obviously you would have coupons, so we were sorted out. And remember there were times that your guys would come and be like, okay, I feel sorry for y'all. I will give some of my coupons to your guys and y'all would go grab a
Yes,
drink.
yes.
Yeah, I
Those are
would do
good
all of
times,
that.
dude. Those
Yeah.
are good times. I mean, the band scene
Uh,
was very different back then. I think right now, like the music scene has shifted to more like electronic style.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
Fully
I mean,
electronic.
I'm barely seeing any of the rock bands that we used to have in the late 90s, early 2000s, when at least when I was in
No.
college. I mean,
No
the scene
longer.
has shifted like completely towards electronic stuff. I mean, I don't know what to say about that because like I kind of like electronic music, like certain types of electronic music, but I do miss like a good rock anthem, which you don't get these days. I don't know, like it's something that it's something that I
You
like.
know
I try.
what, actually, I think it's a phase, right? At the age of 20, 25, you need to be exposed to live music, live rock, alternative, all of that. And then obviously you move on to the next segment of electronic at the age of 30 or so. But nowadays, people like me who can't tolerate electronic music, I don't have options,
Yeah,
right? It's crazy. Like I love a nice live gig, right? Dude, I won't miss it. Like I
of
won't miss
course.
it. But you
Yeah,
don't find it
same.
anymore.
Exactly the same with
Yeah,
me,
you
dude.
won't
Like, I mean,
find
a
it.
lot of my playlist is like maybe like 2010 and earlier. That's the
Yeah.
extent to my
I
music.
got
I
the
do
Coco
have like
Jumbos and all of that, man. Like mysterious girls and all going with. Like I have this entire playlist for my
yeah, I have
wedding. It's
Backstreet
like,
Boys as well, dude.
yeah.
Like, quit playing games with my heart. Like,
Oh
dude,
my
like
god.
I still have that music and stuff. I mean, and it's fine,
Yeah.
but I don't know the music scene these days. I like maybe I'm getting too old. I don't know, but like it all sounds pretty much the same. I mean,
It's the same, man. There's no innovation. I mean, you do have some few, as I said, right? So in India, there's a guy called Raghav Nyapur. I think he's a lovely musician. He has a lot of fresh tunes. Then you have in the Hindi scene, Arijit Singh. So you do have few names,
yeah,
but you don't have bands. You don't have like a Parikrama anymore, an Indian Ocean. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Pentagram
Yeah,
strings, like thing, like
Pentagram, strings.
yeah,
Yeah. Those are like the Indian bands that were like big, man.
yeah, exactly. I mean, something relevant even was way
Something
big.
relevant.
Was way big
Some
back in the day. You played with them briefly, right? Or did you play with the drummer or something? I can't remember.
So no. I didn't play with the drums. So something relevant. The keyboardist
Yeah,
married my sister.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yes,
luckily for me, I got to play with him on multiple occasions. Right.
nice.
So I actually played with the band called Spook. So which was a big part of
Yes,
my entire
undersea
band life.
waterbird or underwater seabird.
Underwater Seabird. That album did really well, bro.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
EP did
yeah.
really well.
I
We
remember it.
sold a
I
lot of
remember it.
copies.
Like, is the
We
band
played
still
for
together?
no. So I mean, I'm in touch with few of them. A few of them have moved abroad. Some of them are pursuing a master's at this point of time, and
Yeah,
it's difficult. It's just plain difficult to give time to an organized band. unless it's within your family. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
guess when we were young, we had that much spare time that we could do all of this stuff. I mean, right now, I mean, look at it this
Yeah,
way. Like, I mean, our band, like when we were so for the people who don't know, like Clavell, myself, and there were three others who were in a band in IHM when we were
yeah,
in catering college, and like we had some of the best memories at that time. And all of us were in the
absolutely.
same place in the same city, and we could just meet up and jam. I mean, now like you're in Mumbai, I'm in Canada. Shane is just like flying all over the world. I mean, Aldrich is
In
Bangalore.
Bangalore,
He's in Bangalore right
Bangalore,
now.
yeah.
Varun, I think, is back in Mumbai, right? So,
Yeah,
like,
Varun is close by. Yeah,
yeah,
Varun is
now
close
he's
by.
close by. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's become hard for us. I mean, honestly, dude, I would give anything to jam with you guys again.
anything,
Like,
anything. I swear. I think if you ask me, my best memories as a musician is with y'all guys in that jam room at
yes,
college. You know what I
yes,
mean, right?
I
Those
know.
moments that we would go on stage and we just knew we had it, and no
Yeah.
one knew who we were.
I think the
We
chemistry
thought,
between all of us like really worked as well as
yeah,
a unit,
yeah. I
and
think
that's always necessary. I mean, you can be amazing musicians, but if you don't have that sort of camaraderie with each other, then like your
I
band's gonna
agree.
go
I
nowhere, right?
agree.
So, what
I
about
agree.
like, do
Yeah.
you plan on getting back into like the music scene at all?
So I've started recording. I'm just going to be very honest with you because I
Yeah.
realized that I've been so out of the music scene, and what drives me is my music, right? So I started recording a few pieces, and I'm writing right now,
Hmm.
and I hope to release them maybe in the coming years, maybe in the coming months, right? And I think this lockdown has given me that chance to actually, look deep inside my soul and get out some melodies from different places. And yeah, so I look forward to being on stage because I love being on stage. You know me, right? I'm more of a guy who wants to be on stage and just play around.
Of course.
And but I think I'm far from that right now. I've been out of touch, so I need to get back to it, and I'm doing it as we speak. You can say.
Yeah, I guess COVID-19 has sort of helped you get
Oh,
into that mindset. I seen like you record some stuff with your brother as well, right?
yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah,
you put
yeah.
it up on YouTube or something, or like is it
So
on
basically,
Instagram
we just put
primarily?
up on Instagram for now. And
Okay.
my brother, in fact, sings really well. So he has his own
Yeah, I've
band.
heard him. Hmm.
Yeah. In fact, his last band, which was, he did a couple of shows last year, which I just, I
Yeah,
humored
you
him.
were
I
on
said, fine, I'll
stage.
play with you. Yeah, we're on stage, right? He called the band name, so his name is Kevan. He
Yeah.
called the band name Kevan and Friends.
You mean
And
like
I was
Dave
like, what?
Matthews Band?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I can't be a friend. Okay. And if I'm going to play with you, the band can't be named Kevan and Friends, right? So we had that thing going on between both of us.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So once a week we release something, and
Mhm.
Kevan and Friends or whatever in quarantine, right? So that's what we do.
I guess how has COVID-19 affected you though? I mean, clearly you are being productive by doing these things, right? So like how's it been doing on a personal level?
So I think I'm blessed, to be honest with you. I think so I'm with my parents and my younger brother at home. So
Yeah.
personally, I think my mom is the best chef in the world. So
Nice.
I get fed well. My
Nothing
dad
like
is
mom's food.
yeah, absolutely right. My dad is the best comedian in the world, so I'm thoroughly entertained. And Kevan and me, we can just chill, right? Because that's what we do. We play
Mm-hmm.
music, a couple of drinks, we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good blend on
Mm-hmm.
all fronts. So personally, I feel that I'm blessed to be in such a so-called quarantine along with them.
Mm-hmm.
Professionally, I think it's difficult. Even though I'm part of an FMCG company, we have been hit, and the company is taking a few measures, to kind of cut back on, be it on the salary front or maybe on the manpower. So
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of changes around me, which I hope I didn't want to see. I don't think anybody would want to see that in
Of
their
course.
companies, but I'm fine. I think I'm in a better place compared to so many other people, and I'm just like thankful.
I heard they extended the lockdown in India as well.
Yeah, so in Mumbai, it has been extended to the end of this month. In the rest, so in India right now, you have three zones. You have something called the orange, red, and green zone, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
yellow, sorry, green, orange, and red zone. So we fall under the red zone, which is basically the density of the
Yeah.
cases over
The
here is very
city,
high.
right? What's the
Yeah, the
population
entire
of
city.
Mumbai? Like 20 million people or something is like the population of Mumbai, I think.
Oh man, I
Like,
honestly don't know,
I don't know.
man.
I
But
think
there are a lot of
it's
people.
around 20 million. Yeah, because like I mean everyone like lives on top of each other. Like I used to live there for like 25 years. Like I know like
There are a lot
it's
of people.
packed. Like it's like so for the viewers who are from Canada, Mumbai is like the New York of India, essentially. Like it's massive, it's sprawling, it's like a concrete jungle, and there are like people everywhere. Like you go to Times Square in New York, it's kind of like Bombay, but everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's Bombay. So I can totally imagine it, dude. But like, I mean, do
Yeah,
you get out of
it's
the
mad.
house a lot?
No, I don't step out. So we just do maybe just for your groceries once a week. That's about it. Where we drive to the nearest supermarket. We put the entire shebang, the gloves, the mask. We go in,
Yeah.
come out, come back.
Is
Nothing
it
else.
mandatory? Is it mandatory
It's mandatory.
to wear mask
Yeah,
and gloves?
not gloves, but mask is
Really?
become a mandate throughout the country. It's a rule.
What kind of mask? Is it like the N95s or like the basic
No, no, it's
surgical
regular. So
masks?
I mean, if you got to be logical, right? If you think about it, not everyone can afford to buy so-called N95 masks. So
Yeah,
people
of
actually have
course.
some so-called kapada that they tie
Yeah,
around or
they
some
wear a cloth around their face. Yeah, I've seen
I don't
that.
know, man. Like, there's a couple of jokes of people putting the underwear on their freaking face and walking around like fools, all of that. So you have all those scenes going on, man. But yeah, everyone is wearing some kind of cloth on their face. So you don't know who's who.
It's insane dude, because see over here in Canada, right? I mean, like I'm experiencing life over here in Canada, and there's like people say we are under lockdown and stuff, but truly we are not under lockdown. Like for example, I went to the gym this morning. Like,
What are you saying?
yeah, dude. Like I'm still going to the gym.
Okay,
Like
so that doesn't exist here.
so, but here's the thing. So the gym I go to, like I have a personal trainer, and he only lets
Uh-huh.
about 3 people in at any given point in time. Like he doesn't he doesn't let more than that because of COVID-19, of course. But the fact of the matter is that it's still open, and I can still go and work out if I want to. Like if I want to go and take a walk, I can do that. Like the
Mhm.
restaurants are shut over here in Canada. Like all the restaurants are shut. They are doing takeout and stuff, but at the same time, like we are nowhere close to like the draconian measures that you guys have in India, really.
I think you know what. See, you got to be honest with yourself. In India, if you don't take such measures, people are just going to slack, right?
Yeah,
As much as I dislike what's happening in the country right now, as much as I'm not so-called for the government, I feel what they're doing right now is necessary.
of course.
And this is the only way to contain whatever we can contain. And even after containing, the cases are rising day by day. It's crazy, man. Like
Well,
I
how
don't know
many
what is
cases are there in
happening.
India right now?
Man, I mean, it's currently you have close to a lack of confirmed cases.
100,000, let's say, approximately.
100,000, yeah.
Wow.
So it's madness, and it's rising in our own city in Bombay every day. It's like 4,000 cases, 5,000 cases.
Really?
It's madness.
That's insane,
So
dude. In Canada, I think we have close to maybe 60,000 cases, if I'm not mistaken. I could be like completely off on that, but the last I checked, it was like 60,000 cases. It's not too bad over here, quite frankly. Like Nikki works in healthcare.
yeah.
She works in HR and healthcare, so she's basically in the know-how about everything that's going on, about COVID-19, at least in the province where I live. And dude, the hospitals are empty, like completely empty.
It's opposite, man, over here. It's crazy.
Really?
Do you remember that place? Have you gone? Did you come for the Ed Sheeran concert at Mahalakshmi Race Course? Were
No,
you there?
no, no, no.
So they've converted that entire area into a makeshift hospital.
Really? And they're
Yeah,
admitting people in over there?
absolutely. Yeah. As we speak,
Holy
there are people,
shit.
already who are there, corona, patients.
Dude, that's messed up. I mean, the problem with this virus is that you really don't. It's so unpredictable. Like, I mean, the transmission is so fast, right? And like, dude, like
I don't know who has it, man.
I see news every day, with different like with different like different views on like on how it's affecting people, like, and we're hearing about these different symptoms that people have, and it
Yeah,
affects children differently, it affects like the older folk differently. Like I
yeah,
saw a
yeah.
study that they found that coronavirus can survive in male semen for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I
That's
heard
like
about it, and then
like
people are like, "Oh shit! Now we can't even have sex." So now what happens? And I'm just thinking, right? Who are these guys who are complaining? Because to have sex, you need to be physically,
yeah,
so-called
with
each other.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to like take a semen and
I
throw on
don't know, dude.
someone. You're,
I don't know, dude. It's insane. Like, I
yeah,
mean, every day I'm seeing
it is. It
these
is.
new
It is.
symptoms and stuff. I mean, but one thing I can tell you, like, I can guarantee you for sure is that it's not as bad as we initially thought it would be in terms of the deaths and stuff. Yeah, sure, there are a lot of deaths and all of that, but at the
Yeah,
same time,
yeah.
this is a good
It's crazy.
preparation for us. This is a good preparation for the world, I think, to like be prepared for like a virus on a larger scale, a more fatal virus. Like I was watching this movie the other day, Contagion. Have you seen Contagion?
Yeah, I watched
It's
it. It's sick. It's
Dude,
unreal.
it's amazing how much they predicted. But I mean, like it's not as bad as that, of course. But I mean, we could potentially get there, right, with another virus or something. And
Yeah,
this is a good wake up call for the world, I think. I don't know, man. It's something that it was unprecedented, and I've never ever
man.
seen it before.
Honestly, everyone says you have your pros, you have your cons, and whatever said and done, right? I think people like us who are fortunate can find pros in such a scene. But those
Exactly.
people who are being affected, people who are so-called dying, who have family members dying, who are losing jobs, for them there is no pro.
Is the
For them
government
it's
having any
only,
relief? Are there any relief efforts from the government of India?
oh yeah, yeah. So the government of India in a historic movement passed a bill for 20 lakh crores, okay, which is basically
20 lakh
10%
crores.
of, yeah, I have no
That's
idea how many zeros are there.
100,000. I don't know, like 20 billion, 20, I don't know.
Bro, just give up, man. Like it's too many of those zeros, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of
A
money.
lot of
Okay.
money. So basically 10% of our country's GDP in
Mhm.
order, as a COVID relief fund for primarily for people who are like a migrant laborers. You have a lot of migrants right now in
Oh
the
yeah,
country, right?
I've seen videos of these
It's
migrant laborers.
disturbing. It's
Dude,
sad
it's
because
so sad.
it's very sad. Very sad, man. People are just like walking for like thousands of kilometers, man, just to go home, and they're
Yeah,
like dying on the way, and they fed, man. So this is what I'm. People keep saying, look at the positive side of Corona. No, you can't. If you're human, you just can't, because
mhm.
this is what is happening, especially in a country like India, where you have so many people who are below the poverty line, who are actually walking and trying to reach home, which is 1,000 kilometers away.
Yeah, exactly. And literally walking that entire distance. Like I saw a story of this lady who was pregnant. Like, and she had to walk like 800 kilometers or something
Yeah,
to
man.
her village.
Yeah, I
And
saw
as
that.
soon as
Yeah.
she got there, she had to deliver her baby. I mean, that is insane, dude. Like you never see that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why I keep saying, uh, when I've been living in Canada for the past 5 years, and I'm just so grateful for the kind of lifestyle we have over here, because
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the way the lifestyle is in India as well, and the kind of the need to survive over there. And not many of these people
Yeah.
appreciate the stuff that we have going on over here. The government is giving people
Yeah.
like $2,000 a month. Like if you've been affected by COVID-19, I mean that's like $2,000 a month is like 1 lakh rupees a month. If you've been affected by
Yeah. Yeah.
this virus. And at the same time, like we have these protesters who come outside Vancouver City Hall and protest this entire thing, saying we don't want to be locked down, as individual freedoms and liberties are at stake, and you're taking away our freedoms. And it's so fucking stupid, dude. Like, I mean,
It's stupid. I think, that's why I'm happy I'm not over there. If you think about it from that perspective, because
yeah,
one thing in India, whatever said and done, yes, we're a poor country. Yes, people are running to survive, but people understand the privileges that they have.
exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
that is something that someone like me, I am humbled. I'm so thankful, right? And I feel in India, you won't find people like that. Like if you ask me, will you find people standing on the road saying, I want to go out? No, they won't do that shit.
Absolutely not, dude. I mean, the thing is, like, over here, right? I mean, what honestly really bugs me about Canada is that the kind of issues that people have over here are trivial in comparison. Like,
Yeah.
and they make such a huge scene about these trivial issues. I don't have one from the top of my head at this point in time, but
Yeah, but I
like,
get it. Yeah, I can
you
imagine.
get it, right? I mean, these are like what they call first world problems, and like it drives me up the wall, dude. Like when I mean, like
Because
like
you've been here, you've seen this side.
because I've lived in India, right? Like I've seen what
Yeah.
life is over there, right? I mean, and they don't
Yeah.
understand it, and it drives me up the wall sometimes, like just certain things,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, COVID-19 for me, at least overall, has been a net positive, I would say. like I still have my job. I work in the financial services industry, so it's kind of essential services. So I have to be employed, which is good. And they actually pay me more if I work in the branch. So that's
serious?
Yeah. If I actually go and work physically, so I work 2 days at home and 3 days in the branch. So if I work in the branch, I get paid more, which is awesome. Like, I mean, my company, like, kudos to the company for doing that. I mean, it's unprecedented, and honestly, like, I'm very appreciative at this point in time. You know, I'm very humbled to have my job, really.
Yeah, man, you're lucky, bro. I mean, if your company is actually paying you more to do what you do, it's crazy. You know, in India, you have people who are doctors, who are frontlines warriors, who are not getting paid. So it's a different kind of, scene over
exactly.
here.
Did you all have that 7 p.m. chant as well at 7 p.m. like every day?
I didn't do all that drama, man. I'm sorry, man. I
Really?
can't do that. Yeah, my dad was like, Clavell, please, let's, what,
Play the
hit the
violin.
bell. So me and my bro were like, if you do that, you got to leave the house, right? So he's like, okay, fine, let's not do that. But people did it, right? Because where I stay, you don't have people who stay here. It's practically you have
I've been to your place.
schools. Yeah. But on that day, man, I could hear people like shouting, and I don't know what all was happening. And I was wondering, who are these guys? I have no neighbors. I'm the only resident in my building. Where this noise coming from? So I was kind of spooked out, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know where these guys are.
I think it's a good thing. It's something like something that we all can sort of get behind, I guess, where we all are sort of, everyone's divided in their own ways, but this is the one thing that sort of unites everyone, getting together to show appreciation to healthcare workers and stuff. I think it's, to be honest, I don't do it. I honestly, I don't do it either. But the fact that, this is, it may be drama, but I think there's a net positive to it, right? I mean, because like, at least over here, the general morale of the public is not very high. Like, even though like British Columbia, the province I live in, has the least amount of cases from all the big provinces in Canada. I mean, there are provinces which have lesser numbers, but judging by the size of our population and stuff, we have the least in Canada. And the fact that we are still doing this, and that the morale of the people is really this low, I think it's a good thing, because that way it's one thing that is uniting everyone. Like, there's this lady downstairs who plays the Canadian national anthem like literally every single day at 7 p.m. And there are times when she plays it twice, which is a good thing. I mean, I need to learn the national anthem because I'm going to because I'm going to probably become a citizen next year, right? So, so I better learn the national anthem. But yeah,
you can't forget the Indian national anthem. You sang it for like what, 20 years?
I can never forget the Indian national anthem. Look, I used to sing that like in the movie theaters when I would search for a movie. I would sing it like every morning at school, the Indian national anthem. Every single morning in school, I would sing the national anthem. I can never forget that. And honestly, the Indian national anthem is so much like, pardon all the Canadians over here, like, who are listening to this, but I think the Indian national anthem is actually
beautiful.
Really beautiful. It's really deep. The Canadian national anthem can be finished in like maybe in 30 seconds. Like, if you sing it fast enough, like you can.
No, I think there was some kind of I don't know whether it's true or what, but they were judging or rating all the national anthems across the world, and India came number one.
Of
and
course,
it's quite believable. I think our national anthem is so melodic. I love playing it on the violin. So that date, I've actually played it at so many. I think in college I've played it a couple of times. For independence.
And it really expresses the diversity of India, right? Which is something. I mean, the lyrics are really, really good. I think the lyrics for national anthem.
I don't quite understand a few of them because in Sanskrit, but it sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the English translation as well, because you know me, dude. My Hindi is terrible. I mean, it's okay.
I think the only person who gave you competition to your Hindi was me, man. Let's be honest. Like, I would be the only one who would give you competition when it came to your Hindi.
I think Varun is pretty bad as well.
Varun had his moments, bro. Varun would like just start talking, like ranting out Hindi words, and I'd be like, wow, legend.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, my Hindi was absolutely bloody horrible, dude. I don't know. But anyway, so moving on. Do you have any advice for someone stuck in quarantine?
You know what? I think this is that kind of a time that you can't put yourself under any kind of pressure. Right? There are people out there who are forcing you to learn new skills, get fit, connect with your so-called family members. The only thing I gotta say is just do what you fucking want to do. Okay, if that means you want to like sit down for like 6 hours, you want to like just eat chips the entire day, you don't want to talk to anyone, that's fine. There's so much of pressure around us already because of this so-called pandemic that you can't have a so-called ideal quarantine, right? So yeah, just do what you have to do and just be thankful. The only thing I gotta say is be thankful. If you're like someone like me, you still have a job, you got family members around you, be thankful. If you're alone, you want to punch something, punch your wall, man. Like just do bang your head in the wall if it makes you feel better. But just be thankful after you bang your head. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think it's necessary to be thankful. I mean, I keep seeing like these posts on social media about, being productive and stuff like that. I mean, maybe that's not your cup of tea. I mean, honestly, like if you're healthy in this moment, I mean, that's something completely to be thankful for. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I'm so happy that I'm like, that I'm still fine as well. And there are people, like I see people like suffering, like, on social media and stuff from COVID-19. There are these videos and stories that are posted of people that are suffering through this and stuff. I just feel so thankful for being completely healthy at this point in time. I mean, and the fact that I get to still more or less go about my daily life.
But there's a lot of people out there, can trust me, right, on social media who are like telling you on your face, if you aren't losing weight, if you aren't learning a new skill, if you're not, whatever, getting certificates from some XYZ program, you're wasting your time. And I think that is wrong. Because that's pressure that you don't need right now.
Exactly. I mean, people have different ways of dealing with stress or anxiety or whatever, and as long as they they find that niche for themselves, the way they want to deal with it, then it's completely fine. Just because you may go and make music or whatever, like that doesn't mean that someone else's cup of tea as well, right?
Absolutely,
I mean,
man.
So that's what switching up keys a little bit. What's the dating scene like in COVID-19?
The dating
This is
scene.
a doozy.
I didn't see this one coming at all, right?
I know.
But I mean, yeah.
I bet Tinder is doing really, really well.
See, bro, I'm going to be very honest with you. Till a couple of months back, I was very active on a few of these so-called dating programs. I think it's called a program because they program every single thing you do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily my brother is there and he's pretty active, and I understand that Bumble is the new in application rather than Tinder.
I've heard of Bumble. I don't like Bumble and Grindr, I think, man. Right?
I mean, you have Bumble, you have Tinder, you have freaking Hinge, you have, I don't know, Cupid. You have like 100 sites. I think it's useless. It's a waste of time, right?
Dude, for guys especially, dude. Listen,
you should talk to Warren about it. I think Warren uses it a lot.
Oh, he does he? He's on next week. He's coming on next week, so I'll definitely ask him about that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely ask him about that. But so there was this. I'll tell you this small story. Like before we end the call, we've already spoken for like 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
So there was a time when Nikki and I both downloaded Tinder. Okay, this was maybe a year ago, a year and a half ago. I can't remember. Okay, so we downloaded Tinder just to see if we are still in demand. Here's what I did. Okay, so I downloaded Tinder, and literally you swipe left if you want to choose that person, right? And you swipe right if you don't want to choose it.
No, you swipe right if you want to choose.
Okay, yeah, whatever. It's the same thing. Anyways, yeah. So I was just swiping right on swiping right on literally every single person I could find. Like literally every single girl, tall, fat, medium, short, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Like I just swiped right, and I swear to God, I never even got one match. Dude, not even one match. And she was being ultra selective. Like she was like, okay, I'm going to choose this guy. Okay, not this guy, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was getting, dude, by the end of it, within an hour, she had like some 4 or 5 matches, and there was something called super like, and she had like 2 guys who super liked her. And I was like, what the fuck, man? So anyway, so like she deleted the app. Okay. And I decided, I'm going to keep the app. Maybe the girls are not active. I don't know. So I decided to keep the app for an entire day. And I didn't even get one. That was so fucking disappointing, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just out of the dating scene for so long, anyways. But like, it was just
during our time, we didn't have any so-called, we
Yeah.
didn't have Tinder and all of that, right?
Exactly.
For us, dating meant we would meet the person, we would like them, they would have to like us because they're awesome, and then that's it, right? Now, when you have an app, you can't feel how awesome the guy or girl is,
Exactly,
right?
dude. Like it's
Like,
it's so
imagine you see
superficial.
me on the screen, bro. You like swipe right, be like, I don't know, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But that's
it's
how it
so
is.
it's so, but it's so horrible, dude. I mean, see, look, when we were, at least when we were teenagers, like if you like someone, you had to actually go and approach that person and
That was
talk to them,
difficult, man.
which
Yeah,
was which
that was.
was really hard, dude. Like, I mean, sometimes your balls on your mouth because you can't.
I remember we have been in that same scene together
Yes, exactly.
so many times.
Yeah, yeah. Those
Oh
are some,
man.
those are for private talks though. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like, I mean, it was hard due to that. I mean, now it's just become so easy, right? To
Yeah.
like just reject a person or say yes to a person or whatever, I mean,
You know what I
I don't
feel?
know.
I think nowadays it's not the same. I think when you're in college, you're surrounded by friends. You have a lot of people you interact with. When you start working, especially when you turn 30, right? You, you kind of look at everyone from a different angle altogether.
Yeah.
You don't want to like have a one night stand. Maybe you want to, but then there's so many things. Like when you're young, you're stupid, man. You just do stuff. You just like
Yeah.
go for trips.
Yeah,
You
I guess
do
turning,
things,
I
right?
think when you turn 30, like something changes in your brain or something like that, and you just switch to being someone more mature, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Don't you wish you were younger? Don't you wish like you were back in college like 10
I
years back?
do. I do, honestly. I really do, dude. Like, I mean, the responsibilities that I have now and stuff, like, I would just give them away completely for,
Dude, your light
as
just
relies
came
on.
on and went off behind you. That was pretty
Yeah.
creepy. You said, I do. It came on. I do. It went off. I'm
I
like,
can, I
whoa.
can, I can, I can turn it on and off. I can like change the colors and shit, dude. It's pretty hilarious. Like, I think Nikki was playing with the lights. So yeah. But I
Wow,
don't know if she did it
awesome.
on purpose, but yeah. Thanks for coming on, bro. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's great
And
catching up with you, man.
it's always good catching up with you, and I hope to speak
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you soon. And do you have any
Yeah.
like any social media account you want me to shout out or something for the people who are watching this to go and
Yeah,
check
I
out?
mean, I'm active on Instagram as Clavell1,
Okay.
Clavell1. So you can
Mm-hmm.
follow me on that.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
Do you have
about it.
YouTube? You have a YouTube as well, right? I'm not sure
I
how
have a
active you
YouTube
are.
channel, but I don't want anyone to come there yet because I'm working on content, right? I
Okay.
got some.
Okay.
But yeah, if you think about it, on my YouTube channel, which is, I think it's called Clavell Santiago, right? You can just do a counter
Yeah,
check.
I
All
think
our
that's what it
videos,
is.
all
Oh,
our
really?
college videos. Yeah.
Oh shit! I need to go check that out for myself. Yeah. So if
Yeah.
anyone wants to see, if anyone wants to see us jam way back in
Yeah,
2008, 9, 10, 11, whatever, go check out Clevel's channel. I didn't know those videos are
yeah.
there, dude. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take a
there,
look
there,
at
there.
them. I'm gonna take a look at them.
Yes. I'm going to look at it right now as well after we're done with this call, man. It's been a
Cheers, bro.
while. Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for coming on, man, and thank you for being my first guest. Like as I said before, I really do
Pleasure,
appreciate it.
man. It's always an honor. I'll talk to you soon. Give my love to Nikki,
Will
and
do.
we'll speak soon, man.
Yep. Give my love to your family as well. Cheers, bro.
I will. Cheers.
Take care, bro. See ya.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.